Welcome to Real Estate of Mind, a Farming Group podcast. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate of Mind. I'm Andy Gutman on behalf of the Farming Group, and welcome to another show. This morning, I'm joined by our new friend and really a tremendously talented and creative individual, Dan Nichols of Grow Studios. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Andy. It is morning. I got a good kick out of this morning. 8 a.m. and I'm on the phone with Andy. Here we are, Monday morning. Great way to start the week.
Yeah, and although our listeners may not hear this on Monday morning at 8, but listen to how amazingly awake and great that Dan sounds for a really early morning podcast. So thank you for making it this early in the morning.
Glad to be here, Andy. Thanks.
So Dan, thanks again for joining me this morning. You really have kind of a cool creativity to you, and I know that our listeners will want to hear a little bit more about you and Grow Studios, but maybe you can start by telling us, who is Dan Nichols?
Awesome. Hey, that's always a fun topic for anyone, I think, right? So I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. Since I was 18 years old, through high school and through college even. I always had my own thing going on. As I often share with people, it's not because I think entrepreneurship is better, but I just think it's better for the right people. If it happens to fit you, you should wear it. You should do it. You should try it. And that's really kind of a big, I guess, kind of the heartbeat of what's behind Grow Studios. So I like to help people grow that piece of them that's the creators. So I've always been fascinated by that since I was a little kid. I took to the stage early. Actually, out of high school, initially I had a lawn business, and then I went to a buddy's wedding, early 20s, like that, and saw this guy DJing, and I thought, man, I'm going to do that, because I always wanted to be a professional speaker. And I thought, well, I'll start there, I'll be on a microphone, it'll make me comfortable. Anyway, long story short, 27 years later, I'm still a disc jockey, and then in there, about 20 years ago, I started doing game shows for companies. I've done those all over the country. I've been to New York, to D.C., Chicago, L.A., and I'm name dropping. Sounds cool. But I've done game shows for big companies, New Jersey Nets, Chrysler, Ford, Microsoft, Dell. Done entertainment for them. And I actually own the game show gear, so I can actually come and bring a full set and bring that to an event and set the whole thing up, and then I MC it as well. And I have a passion for that. I love doing game shows. I love to work a room. And it's the process, right? And I think that's what's always fascinating. If you find somebody that's an inventor or this or that, they don't even necessarily always care about the end product. At that point, they're bored. What they enjoyed was the process. Well, I've always enjoyed the process of the startup. But then, interestingly, Andy, somewhere in there I had a shift. And that shift was my passion for helping the startup. And that's really what's behind Grow. So I go from entertainment to that. I did have a really cool opportunity across all that to travel with the Get Motivated group, which was as a platform presenter selling for a major stock company, a stock trading company. And I toured with Colin Powell, Lou Holtz, Rudy Giuliani, Steve Forbes, all selling from the stage the stock software. I've been a real estate broker for several years. I used to buy and flip properties. Been in the mortgage business for about 5 years. There's not much I haven't done or tried, and why I think that's key is that there's not many industries where I can sit in front of that human being and interview them or do a podcast with them where I don't, at least at some level, understand their world because I've done so many different things. And I mentioned about 4 or 5 things, but I've probably done 20 or 30 things in all sorts of different industries. And because of that experience, when I'm having a conversation, a lot of times I know what it is that they're struggling with, where the friction in their business is, and what I can do to probably help to solve that for them. And then as far as the evolution of all that, about 15 years ago, this thing called YouTube popped up. And that's where I really started doing video marketing. And I began to see the possibilities for that for people beyond, of course, just myself.
I think that's amazing. And I want to talk about for a second, when you first reached out to me about your idea of putting together podcasts and other things, but I just want to mention that your enthusiasm, your creativity, mean, those are the things that keep Farbman going and really make us a standout company. Is we love interacting with people who think differently and who have fresh new ideas. I remember, I first got a message from you, and then you and I spoke for, it couldn't have been more than 10 minutes, and I was sold on partnering with you, just because your energy, your creativity, your enthusiasm, it's catchy, and I think people relate to that. I commend you on that. I think it's very telling, the career you've had and the level of entrepreneurship. I think I might have to have you back on solely for a conversation about your time spent with Rudy Giuliani in this crazy world we're in right now. But I want to commend you for that, and then I want to dive a little further into what you're going to be doing at our Sheffield office park. So let's take a second and dive into that right now. So Dan, let's get into the heart of things here. Farbman and Grow Studios have teamed up to offer not only our tenants but the community in general an opportunity to do something great. And I'm going to let you talk a little bit about that and your experience so far.
Yeah, so first off, Andy, I do, and I've wanted to say this from the beginning. You guys have been awesome to work with. I've never, ever rented commercial space in my life. I've always been home based. This was a big leap for me, and you guys made it seamless from top to bottom. I don't care which of everywhere from you when we initially talked all the way down to the maintenance guys. Just awesome. Every bit of that experience. I had an issue with a couple of mechanical things, and it was fixed with I swear by the time I hung up the phone, they were at my door. Nice. So just thanks to the Farbman team for that. That was awesome. And then as far as our relationship, yeah, we've got this. It's not a legal partnership, but this idea that we are joining up to try to help the tenants in the Farbman community to better sell what they've got. And right now with video and audio, and I'm a big fan of both. Some of my favorite podcasts. I listen to them because I get such great information from them and how to create a better business or how to do this or that. And with the video side, nothing accelerates the sales process faster. And every one of the companies that you lease to have to sell something, whether it's a service or a product, they got to sell it. And in this COVID environment, they're having trouble getting the word out because their salespeople can't go hit the road. We've had to adapt, and we've done a good job of that. We've largely done a good job of that, but we've done it through video. And I'm saying that you want to up that game, and that's what I can do at the studio. I've got a 20-foot green screen. I can, put the corporate logos behind people. I can put you wherever you need to be. We can do Zoom calls, just all sorts of cool stuff. And it's fairly socially distanced. It's a 20-foot, roughly, a little over 20 feet wide. So I can have, 2 to 3, even as many as 4 if I squeeze you a little tighter. Say managers or whatever, and to talk or address their companies and things like that. And this relationship we have, we're giving heavily discounted vouchers to people to come in and try it. And that's the deal that you and I struck, is that I would give a great offer to your tenants in return for an opportunity to be in your building.
And we really appreciate that. And candidly, I think you're right on. These days, you need every advantage you can get to make sales in a very competitive world, and especially in a COVID world. And so we're excited about that. We think part of what I love about working for the Farbman Group and the Farbman family is that we really do try to make it a partnership with our clients. If our clients aren't succeeding, that makes it tougher for them to pay the rent. It makes everyone, it makes it tougher for everybody. And so we really go out of our way to try to make sure that we do everything we can. From if our clients sell products that we buy, we try to buy from clients. And it's the same thing with this. If when you approached us about this idea about putting a podcast studio in our building and making it available to our tenants, we thought it was brilliant, and we still do, and we're excited about that. And you mentioned giving our tenants vouchers, so we are giving away in a weekly raffle, at least for the next few months, a free podcast that our clients can use. Any one of our tenants, if you're in a Farbman building, you can go and get a free podcast with Grow Studios. We'll put you into a raffle for it. And so we're giving away quite a few of those, but throughout, the time that you're with us, we're going to continue to do some giveaway every month to our clients so they understand what kind of power is in what you do. And we're excited about that. And we're excited to partner with you in general. because I really do believe that your positive nature and enthusiasm and knowledge of what you're doing really makes that podcast so much more special than just an average podcast. So very excited to team up with you, Dan.
Excellent. I'm glad to be a part of it. I really am. Thank you.
So, Dan, we talked about what you're doing and what we're doing together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, I know by now people are asking themselves, well, how do I get in touch with Dan Nichols? How do I become a part of the Grow Studios community? Can you give us the ways in which people can reach out to you?
Sure, yeah. So one quick way is the website, which is growstudiosclub.com. Also, my phone number, and at this point it goes direct to me. I'd love to eventually have somebody that hopped in between there. But the phone number is 248-541-0250, 248-541-0250. And then the email address, if you want to do that, is growstudiosllc@gmail.com.
That's great. So a lot of different ways to get a hold of you. We're going to also put that onto the face of the podcast when we send it out. So if anyone did not get that and doesn't want to keep rewinding this, you can get that from the face of the podcast. Dan, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Really appreciate you being here. And on behalf of the Farbman Group and Real Estate of Mind, we wish everyone a great day.
Join us next time for another wonderful edition of Real Estate of Mind, a Farbman Group podcast.